Assalamualaikum and good day. We are Group 3 from Section 4 and today we present the case of Court for Sinar Berhad and Tan Chee and Sen Sinar Berhad decided by the Court of Appeal in 2013. This case mainly concerned about breach of contract, vacant possession, condition precedent and the application of the contract at 1950 together with the companies at 1965.
So this is the agreement that you need to sign in order to complete the transaction. Alright, so before we sign this contract, I just need to confirm that the land will be completely written on the completion date, right? Oh yes, no worry. We will clear everything before 9 February.
Because when we checked the area earlier, there are still some structures that are still crossing the area, and there are still the car park are still operating there.
Most of it will be removed soon, even the car park operation must not have to leave.
Okay, so since everything is settled, then I will send everything now.
Okay.
Done.
Okay, thank you.
In this case, the defendant agreed to sell 100% shares of Johor Sinar Berhad to the plaintiff of 16 million. However, the real purpose of the transaction was actually the sale and purchase of a piece of land owned by the company. The plaintiff had a deposit of 1.6 million, while the balance was to be paid by the completion date.
Before completion, the plaintiff discovered several encroachments on the land.
Hello? Okay, so I need you to pay the remaining of 14.4 million ringgit in order to complete the transaction.
Hello? I don't think so. Because the agreement says the vacant possession must be given on the completion date. But we can't pay the remaining 14.4 million if the land still has people operating on it. What is this?
Oh, the issue is not only, you should still continue with the payment first.
No, this is important. We are buying with this company because of the land. If the land is not fully cleared, then the agreement hasn't been properly fulfilled.
Oh, it's okay, don't worry. We already prepared everything else. You should just trust us.
So we already paid 1.6 million deposit. We are serious buyers. We just want the land delivered exactly like promised in SPA.
So, what do you want now?
Extend the completion date first until all enroachment and the car park issue are settled. Then we will continue.
The plaintiff then requested an extension of time until vacant possession could properly be delivered.
I know.
The main legal issue in this case were, first, whether the defendant had breached the sale and purchase agreement by failing to deliver vacant possession. Second, whether the plaintiff was entitled to withhold payment of the balance purchase price. Third, whether the condition precedent under the agreement could be waived. And lastly, whether the plaintiff was entitled to refund of the deposit and damages.
Also for the defendant, you argued that the conditions precedent were waived through the side letter, correct?
Yes, my lord. The plaintiff agreed that the clauses regarding the approval would no longer apply.
Including the approval by shareholders during the extraordinary general meeting?
Yes, my lord.
My lord, we submit that the waiver is invalid. Section 132C of the Company Act 1965 clearly requires shareholder approval for disposal of substantial company property.
So your argument is that the statutory requirements cannot be ignored by the private agreement?
Exactly, my lord. Even if both parties agree, the law must be complied with.
But the plaintiff already signed the letter willingly.
The agreement contained two important condition precedent. First, approval from the Foreign Investment Committee. Second, approval from the defendant shareholders during an extraordinary general meeting under Section 132C of the Companies Act 1965. The defendant argued that this requirement had been waived through a side letter. However, the court held that statutory requirements cannot simply be waived by private agreement.
The court also applied to Section 52, 53, 55 and 56 of the Contract Act 1950. Under Section 52 and 53, the obligation of both parties were reciprocal. This means the defendant had to deliver vacant possession while the plaintiff had to pay the balance purchase price. Since the defendant failed to provide vacant possession on the completion date, the plaintiff was legally entitled to withhold payment.
The court found that vacant possession was an essential term of the agreement. The existence of the encroachments and the continued operation of the car park showed that the land was not fully vacant. Therefore, the defendant has breached the agreement first. Since the agreement also stated that time was of the essence, the failure to perform on time made the contract voidable at the option of the plaintiff under Section 56, the Contracts Act 1950.
A side letter cannot override mandatory legal requirements. The court finds that the condition precedent was still applicable and had to be fulfilled.
The Court of Appeal allowed the plaintiff appeal. The defendant was ordered to refund 1.6 million deposit together with interest. The court also awarded damages to the plaintiff because of the defendant had fundamentally breached the agreement.
In conclusion, this case highlights the importance of fulfilling contractual obligation, especially in transactions involving land. It also shows that statutory requirements cannot simply be waived and that vacant possession must be properly delivered before payments can be demanded. Thank you.